Hi everyone, hope you are doing great. So starting from this video, we are going to build a really beautiful projects and we are going to implement all the concepts which we've been learning so far in the series. So इसमें हम क्या करेंगे? In this video particularly, we'll be building the site layout and the navigation bar for our project. And the project is your own personalized portfolio website. So let's get right into it.
So this is the website we are targeting to build. You can see we will be building pretty similar website, right? This is just for showcase, right? So when you hover, this is basically a portfolio website we are trying to build here. So this is how the website is looking like, and this website is using just HTML and CSS, right? So let's get started and let's start the project. Correct. Let me just create a new folder here. Let me just say course, or you can say final project part 1, right? Because this is the first video for the project, I'm naming it part 1. Correct. अब यहाँ पे जल्दी से let me create an index.html file and of course a style.css file, right? So you just complete the boilerplate code and I'll just name it portfolio, right? And here I'll link CSS quickly, right? I've linked CSS, correct? All right, then let's get started with this project. So first of all, before making any website or making any project, we need to have a clear understanding of how we are going to make and what is the target we are going to achieve, right? So let me just create a quickly you can say layout of the website. So I want this is my screen, right? This would be my whole website. Would be my whole website would look like. Of course, there would be a navbar on the top, like we saw. Then the first section I want is for my introduction, about me, who am I and what I am, that whatever you can write here. You can also add your education and all that status here, correct? And here in another section, I want my projects to be listed, just like that we were listing on there. So there will be several images of, you can get screenshots of your project. When you click, you go to that link, correct? Then in the end, I want to have a connect section. You definitely can add more sections, right? The tasks are repetitive, that's why like we are keeping it short and simple. Here we'll be using grids, and for this we'll be using flexbox. For this we'll be using flexbox also, right? So we are trying to cover all the concepts we've learned in the project, like in the course, and we are trying to implement them in the project, correct? Now let's get started quickly and let's just create the layout of the website, correct? So what I want in my website right now is I want basically body is definitely there, but I want first section is for navbar. So let me create a navbar div with the class of navbar, correct? Let me just create another div. I'll be giving it a class of about, right? Let me just give it a class of about, another div of connect, right? You can add more sections as per your likings, but in this project हम इतना ही कवर कर रहे हैं, and you can definitely add more sections by using the same repetitive concepts we are learning, right? तो ठीक है यार, navbar में let's just add, so navbar must be having, so in the top I want, in here I want you can say a link to my GitHub, here I want a link to my LinkedIn, and then here a site navigation kind of thing. When I click, I go to that section, correct? So this is the thing we are targeting. So great. So navbar will be having this. You can of course, like you can imagine and divide this section, this whole section, the whole navbar section into two halves, right? Let me just show you. So one half is this, right, where we'll be having links to our eminent websites. You can also add code forces, code chef, or whatever you will want to add here, and definitely we'll be adding this to our right side of the navbar, right? So let me just quickly create two sections of the navbar. So one will be I can say websites, right? And here I'll say site nav. This is for site navigation only, correct? So right, and okay, so let's just start giving them stylings. I'll just quickly open it in the live server, and let me just open in a browser also, right? So yeah, so this should look like this. Let me just close one of the tabs. Let me just close this also. For instance, let me just arrange my windows. So this is how we are going to develop. We are not going to use that inbuilt, you can say, this show preview. We can definitely copy the link from here, close this, and paste the link here, and that's how our page will still stay, you can say, live, right? I am adding content and we are looking at. So browser is, I'm using browser because it's good to use browser rather than a makeshift browser, which is that preview only, right? So you can see the final results of your website just यहाँ पे ही आप देख पाओ, right? So clear है. तो अब यहाँ पे let's just start adding some stylings, right? So ठीक है, let me just close all other windows. So close others कर लेते हैं, and let me just open index.html here. So correct. So let me just add some stylings. So first of all, of course, I want the universal selector and box sizing border box, so that I can have all the heights and lengths up to my liking. And so now, and also I'll be giving a margin of what? Margin of 0 initially, correct? This is what my margin is looking like. So we can just make this a full screen page, and we can also, I think, do this also. ऐसे भी कर ही लेते हैं, there's no harm in this, right? Clear है, ठीक है? So ठीक है, and this would be our browser. इसको भी let's just do full screen, correct? So this is our full view, and this is the view we are looking at, correct? Now let's start creating and giving stylings to the elements. So in order to add stylings, we definitely need to select the particular tags. So let me just select the navbar tag. So navbar class div, and then I'll select the about div, and then I'll be selecting the, you can say, connect div, connect, correct, right? So navbar div, I want it to have stylings of, you can say, I want it to have stylings with, of course, we'll be giving borders to them so that they are visible. Border 1 pixel solid black. These are temporary borders. We are not giving them borders for forever, right? That's up to our liking. So border, I'll give border to this also, 1 pixel solid uh, blue. Let's just give them borders of different color, and I'll just add a border here also, okay, right? So you can see right now these are like here only, and they are not doing any much else, right? Let me just give it a you can say, navbar should be having a height of, let's say, 15 pixels. No, it's not enough. Let me just add more. So I'll just say 6 rem. That's a lot. 5 rem is a lot. 3 rems, okay, 3.5 rems. All right. So this seems a bit okay. Okay, navbar to me, right? This size seems about right to me. Yep, this size is looking good, right? All right, and okay, and of course width should be of 100 VW, right? 100 viewport width, right? Let me just give them also. So height I want to give to about page is of what? So I want about page to take this much area. So if I give it a height of 100 VW, 100 VH, you can see there's a scroll bar which is added here, and I don't want this scroll bar, right? You can see this is the scroll bar I want. I don't want this scroll bar to stay with me, right? So you can see this is the scroll bar, and I don't want that. So definitely we are using excess of width. So I'll just do what? Calc. I'll just use a calculate function. Since navbar is using 3.5 rem, I'll just subtract 3.5 rem from 100 window height. 3.5 rem, correct? Now you can see things are aligning with each other, and now we are having no scroll bar. If I give it a background color of red, you can see it will be having background color of red, but it's not. Let me just leave 3.5 minus. Yeah, this minus should be separate from this number. So you can see now this is about page, right? And this is the, you can say, the about page, right? All right, so this is the nav, correct? Although this is also taking more area, let me just check it out. So we are having height of, all right, width I want it to be 100 VW, right? So you can see widths are similar, but okay, if I give it 100% also, we are having a scroll bar. We don't want that scroll bar. Let's investigate why is that scroll bar coming in, right? Okay, so navbar, about, connect, okay, height is set 3.5 rem minus 3.5 rem, correct? If I don't give them borders, let's see. So okay, no problem. I'm concerned about this scroll bar. Let's debug this, right? Okay, no problem. So let's just investigate. So about page is having box sizing, border box is there, margin is there. Are we using the wrong classes? Dot navbar connect is also correct. Navbar about is also correct, right? About is also correct, and connect is also correct. Check it out. Great. Let's just see. Width is equal to 100 VW. Definitely viewport width. Height is equal to this much. Okay. All right. 100 VH minus 3.5 m. Correct. Let's just give a body also. Body some height and height is equal to 100 VH and width is equal to 100 VW. Correct. Okay. So still we are having some issues. No problem. We don't want this scroll bar and definitely not this scroll bar here, because this is making our site a little bit weird. I'll just add a margin of 0 here. Right, margin 0 definitely is applied on all of these things, but definitely we need to keep that in mind. 100 VH minus 3.5 gram. Just see what is going on. Height minus 3.5 gram, and the color is red. So let's just say yellow. Right, let's just say yellow here. Correct. Okay, yellow is added to the bottom. Okay, if I give it a height of minus 3.5, you can see this is not coming now, right? So there is something related to 0.2 rem which is being added to the website, right? Clear? We have not given height and width to connect also. Let's just give it height is equal to, let's just give it a height of 20 rem and a width of, you can say, you can say 100 VH, 100 VW, correct? All right, no problems. I also want a project section, right? I also want a project section. So okay, just debug it later. Let me just add a project section also. So dot project, and here I'll be adding the project information. So that should also be of height. You can say calculate. Cal function actually is used to calculate. So VH minus 3.5 rem, because that's the height of this navbar, right? If we remove the stylings of navbar, let's see what happens. So definitely this stylings are removed, but we are of course taking more width than is what it is required, right? Let's just try to debug it. All right, so scroll bar here है हमारा, and this is because we are using VW here. So VW actually gives you the width of the full viewport, which includes the scroll bars also. तो यहाँ पे we don't need to give width 100 VW. यहाँ पे let's just remove it from body, and यहाँ पे instead of this, यहाँ पे we'll just write percentages, right? So जो extra scroll bar आ रहा है उसकी वजह से भी we are having this extra width which is added due to this scroll bar. We are having this width in this scroll bar, तो इसकी वजह से we are having excess width, तो उसकी वजह से we are having a scroll bar. Now let's see, यहाँ पे देखो scroll bar is removed from here, right? All right, so this is about section. I've also added a project section with background color of blue, right? So this is the project section, you can see, right? So the website is looking like this right now. Let me just show you all. So this is the about section. Here will be the navbar. Navbar seems to be a little bit small, but let's slow down there, and then we scroll. When we scroll down, you can see navbar will still be up there, and here will be our project section, and here we have a connect section, correct? So this is the layout of the website, right? Let me just add some more things, just give me a second. So right, so you can see all right, so this is the whole website layout. I'll just add a background color here also. Background color green I'll add, which will signify the connect area, right? Let me just remove the border if it's having, so yeah, it's having a yellow border. Let me just remove it, and this is the website layout which is looking right now. Now let's work on the nav bar quickly. So In the navbar I'm definitely having two sections, and let me just do one thing, that I'll just add in the navbar only, let me just give it some styling, right? Let's just give some styling to the navbar. And for stylings I have included these links, right? I'm having these links, these will be there in the project itself. These are some external resources we can use while we build a website. Definitely this is a project where like we are building everything from scratch, then definitely we'll be needing these external resources to get us some good icons, to get us some new colors and all that stuff, all that good stuff, right? So this is one like website called Web Gradients. Let's go to this website. This website Web Gradient gives us the thing. Give me a second. So Web Gradients is the website. Let me just do allow access. Now this website actually gives us some really cool and beautiful gradients. Let me just select one of the darker gradients and I'll show you how I do that. So this website, you can go here. Let me just select one of the darker gradients. This gradient seems to be fine. Let me just find another one just in case. Alright, this gradients also seem to be good gradient. Just give me a second. Let me just let's just find the good gradient here. So alright, this gradient seems to be good enough, so I'll just copy CSS, click here, and CSS is copied. Now just go to the link or like selector, just paste here, and this gradient will be added to the to our styling, right? So okay, let me just refresh it. I guess something else is happening. Okay, I guess just give me a second. I've pasted this here, right? Let me just remove this all. The website is not here now. The problem here, just give me a second. Let's remove everything which I've added extra. Right. Oh, okay, so we commented out. No, we didn't comment out Navbar. Okay, so let me just do a screen share of this website again. Just give me a second. Yeah, live preview was not working. I don't know why, but yeah, you can see when we uncomment this web gradient is applied to our navbar, right? So this is the navbar. This is how the navbar is looking right now, correct? All right, let's work our way through and let's add some left bar and sidebar. So see, now this is definitely having two classes inside it. One is website and one is site nav. So website should come to the left of this. So websites, and I'll have site nav, right? So these are the two navigations we are having. Let me just add a border color, border 2 pixel solid white, right? You can see it's added there, and again for this also. I'll just add a way like width of this to be, let's say this is 3.5, let's just say this is 2 rem. Okay, not width actually, width should be, I guess, let's just make it, for now let's just make it 14 rem, right? Okay, and for this let's make width of, let's make it a width of 24 rem. Let's just see. Yeah, 24 rem seems to be fine. And let's just add heights also. Height is equal to 2 rem, right? 2 rem is a little bit short. Let's just say 3 rem. Yeah, it seems fine to me. And 3 rem to this also, right? Height 3 rem, right? You can see now these both are aligning themselves in downward order. I don't want that, and for that I'll just do one thing. I'll just create another class, uh, one of the UI classes. I'll just call it flex, right? I just call it display flex align items center, right? This is the class which I'll give to the flex elements, or let me just add it here only. I'll not give it another class. I'll just add it here only in navbar itself. We just add display flex alignment center and justify content space around, or I'll just say space between, right? So when I make this page a little bit larger, you can see these are the both navigation things we want to have with ourselves, right? Let me just add some padding here. So padding left for this navbar should be of 1 rem. So you can see it is not connecting to the border of the page, and I'll just add a padding right also, so that the page looks a little bit nicer. You can see now things are looking good, correct? Yeah, this is looking good now. I'll just add a min width to body, min width, and I'll just say it should be 30 rem. right? So if yeah, it should add, let me just say it's 40, right? So now this should look good, right? Okay, all right. So now it's looking just fine. All right. So this is how our website is looking like. I just remove this for now, and this is how we continue to make the website. Now I want some icons in this area, and for that I'll definitely have to go get icons from somewhere. I'll just paste in one of these links. You'll find a link. These links will be present in the description of the video. You can copy them. This is one of the websites which I found good, where you can find some really beautiful icons for your web page. So I'll just go here, and you can see how I'm utilizing external stuff also and incorporating that to my own website. All right. So this is the website where you can find some good icons. I want to find an icon for I want to find an icon for one for GitHub and one for LinkedIn. Let me just increase the navbar height also. Right, it's looking really small right now. So if I do 4 rem here, I definitely have to change the heights of corresponding things also. I'll just select all and I'll just say 4 rem. Now this should look good. Yep, it is looking just fine. I'll just reload this page again, and you can see this is looking fine now, right? Okay, this navbar it seems great. Let's get some good icons. LinkedIn, right? You can see I've got this LinkedIn logo here. I'll just click on this and I'll just copy paste this, right? And you can see if I paste this in my website right now, in websites, I'll just paste this link. You can see I'll not be able to use this icon because they also have some documentation on the usage of icons. If you want to use, you just need to add these two scripts to your web page, and like in the bottom I'll just add these two scripts, and you can see now LinkedIn icon is visible on our website, correct? Let me just create okay, I'll just do one thing. Let me just add this to a div, right? I'll just make a div, or I'll just say dot icon, right? I'll just nav icon. I'll just give it a div of nav icon, and I'll just add this icon into this nav icon, correct? Okay, so in on this selector, I want this icon to be of color white, and it should be taking the whole area, right? Definitely in websites also I want these icons to be centered, and let me just import another icon also for GitHub. Let me just do that quickly. So GitHub, if we copy this icon from here, and we can now just paste here. Of course, nav icon, with this class we can add this icon here. You can see these both icons are arranged in vertical order, in column order. What I want is I just give it a display flex of align items center. It will align them in the vertical direction, and justify content between space between, okay, or space evenly, I'll just say. So these icons are looking like this now, right? I'll just add here another class, nav icons icon, it's icon, right? Nav icon. I'll just say font size of 2rem, right? You can see font size is actually increasing the size of these icons, right? Font size 2rem, and let me just say, if I okay, and color white. You can see now these icons are white, but these are not aligned beautifully. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just say ion icon and just paste this here instead of the thing, and yeah, this looks fine. Let me just remove this div for now. I'll just remove this div. Yeah, okay, so these icons are now perfectly aligned. One more thing I want is that navbar should have some rounded edges. To font size is actually really less. I'll just make it 2.5. So this seems to be fine, right? Okay, all right, so I have added these icons. I want navbar to have a rounded border. So in before this border line, okay, in navbar, in websites, I'll just give it a border radius property. We've learned this before. I'll just give it a 0.5 rem. You can see now it's looking good, right? Now it's looking great with some rounded borders, right? You can see right here, right? Okay. All right, so we've added these website links. We also want to add some site navigation, and for that I'll just do one thing. I'll just create a div here of, you can say, class, let's say about nav, nav. I'll just create another class of, let's say, projects nav. I'll just create another class of Combinator. Right. These are the three classes I want here in the websites. I'll just add in the site nav. I'll just add the same, you can say, I want to add the same things to uh, this one also. So what I can do is I can either give them the same class, or I'll just create another thing. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just select the site nav, and here I'll just copy paste these properties, and these properties will be applied to this div also, right? All right, so let's move on, and here I want to add some contention about nav, or I can just say, instead of adding this about nav and doing everything for different classes, I'll just say nav button, right? I'll just create another class here, dot nav button, right? Okay, site nav, we are already giving him this some, can say, properties. I'll just copy these properties and overwrite. So width and height, width is basically the difference, so I'll just remove this from here, or let me just paste everything in this website, right? Okay, so let me just paste everything here, and the new class I want is nav button. So dot nav button, and here what I want to give is, I just say 24 for this, and nav button should be having, so this should be having a text of about, this should be having a text of, you can say, projects, and this should be having a text of uh, connect. Okay, all right. So nav button should be having a font size of 2rem, right? It's nav button I've written here. It should be nav button. So you can see 2rem has been applied. I just reduce it to 1.8 rem instead of 2rem. Color should be, of course, white. Color should be white, and I want a good font for this. So for that, again, I'll go to these links. I'm providing a good font. So this is one of the link you can use through Google API. So just go there, paste this link. You'll find a lot of fonts on this website, fonts.googles.com. So this is one of the fonts which I am interested in this website. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just select this font. You don't have any font selected, choose a style. Okay, so let me just add this style, or let me just remove this style for now. Let me just add some good and bold looking style. So this looks pretty fine. So I'll just select this, or let's just select regular 400. I'll just go here, and you can see here I can definitely copy some code. So I just paste it. At import, I'll just copy this internal import URL, right? This is some things which you need to know, right? This is just common things, I don't need to explain these, right? So इसमें just copy कर लो and just paste this here, this link in your CSS file on the top of it, right? This is all you import fonts from here, right? So link से भी कर सकते थे, but यहाँ पे you can do this, and just CSS rules, what CSS rules should be applied. So in this, I'll just add app wide this CSS rule. I'll just select here, and you can see this font has been applied here. So this font is applied there. So if I remove this rule, this is the normal font, this is the new font we have applied here, right? All right, so what I want is that these buttons should be having some separate border. So I'll just remove this from site nav. I'll just add them to, I give them the button, and here also I'll give instead of websites, I'll just give it to let me just give it to ion icon. Yeah, I'll just give it to them, right? Okay, so great. So I'll just say width of, but it is being applied to all of the ion icons, right? I don't want that, or all right. Okay, so let's just keep the icons like this only. I'll just add some good height and width to the nav button, right? So height is equal to, give me a second, height is equal to 3rem, right? And width is equal to, width is defined, but width is equal to, I'll just define it, I'll just find a min width of 4rem, or let's say 5rem, or I can also give padding, right? Padding should be 1rem, right? 1rem, but it makes the font a little bit smaller. So I'll just give a padding of left 1rem, and padding of right also right, also 1 gram, and 1 gram seems to be a little bit overboard. I'll just make it 0.5. So you can see it is, everything is all about like managing the stuff on your website. I also want this text to be centralized, so I'll just add all the stuff. So display flex, align items center, justify contents, center. Right, so this is the nav bar which will be followed in our website. So if I can show you here in our website, this is how the nav bar is looking right now. Right, this is some beautiful small nav bar, right, which is looking beautiful, great on our website. Right, so right, so this is it for this video. We have added a lot of code. We have added this, and also one thing, so I want this nav bar to stick when I scroll down. So before ending this video, let me just add quickly. So in this nav bar only, I'll just add a top of 0, and before that I'll add a position sticky, right, sticky. So this is the position we learned in the position video. So if I scroll down, you can see nav bar is not moving now, right? Nav bar is not moving. Just give me a second. So we've defined the height of body, that's why nav bar is not going below it. I'll just remove this also, and you can see now nav bar will travel further down, right? So this is how our website is looking right now. Now we've made the nav bar. I can also change the color. This color seems to be a little bit lighter. I'll just select this and I'll just make it a little bit darker, or maybe more darker. So you can see this is how our website is looking. I just make this color a little bit more lighter. Right, this seems fine to me, and this is how our website is looking right now. Let's just meet in the next video and let's just see how we make a grid here in the about page.